Sister Wives Kody Brown admits raising children in cult? Sister Wives patriarch Kody Brown opened up about his experience with the church in the past that has him on edge about Robin Brown and her girls returning. While he still has faith, he thinks religion spoils the experience. Seemingly, he shocks fans after he admits he has been raising his children in a cult. Kody Brown shares his church phobia. In the latest episode of Sister Wives, Kody Brown unearths some of his phobias of religion and churches. While he is on a date night with Robin Brown, she clarifies, "So you have some apprehension." Then she asks him to tell her what exactly he is concerned about. In a confessional, he admits he has his own anxieties, fears, and struggles that come up when he thinks about Brianna and Aurora looking for a church. He acknowledges he has to keep those from poisoning their experience, but he admits he feels like he needs to steer them clear of any culty-like churches. Kody Brown admits raising children in cult. On Reddit, Sister Wives fans point out something they never thought Kody Brown would admit. First, a user says, "Kody? Never thought I'd hear him say this." Something profound. Profoundly obvious to everyone but himself. Sobin, in a clip, Kody is talking to Robin Brown about wanting to take Aurora and Brianna church shopping. In his roundabout way of answering, he begins to reflect on his experience with the church. He says, "You're getting into something that turns out to be kind of culty." In a confessional, he continues, "You can lose your children to a bad marriage. You can lose your children to just huge disagreements between the two of you." He adds to his train of thought, "You can lose your children in a divorce, or you can lose your children to a cult." Another fan says, "I found this whole episode to be really interesting, honestly. Lots of real talk. Him letting us all know that he's realized he was in a cult. Literally never thought that would happen. And he's saying it to Robin, who seems to still buy into it. She looked uncomfortable, and I'd love to see more of that." This episode had moments that were closest to reality that we've gotten in years, I think. I hate to admit this because I despise that man, but Kody ranting about culty religions was the most interesting part of the episode. Most people originally tuned into the show to gawk at people in a cult LOBR. Now that they've left the cult, I'd like to hear more of them discuss that instead of their wedding dress for the 500th time. But he'd be happy if his children joined mainstream LDS church, which is also a high-demand religion. So many ways to lose children. While Kody Brown was making the point that not every church can be taken at face value, he brings up many ways someone can lose their children. Sister Wives fans were quick to point out a few more he missed. Another commenter says, "Or you can lose your children by being a dick." This. You can lose your children if you make zero effort to have a relationship with them. You don't call them, wish them a happy birthday. You don't call them to say hello. You don't see them. You don't make any effort to see your grandchildren. So many ways. You can lose your children because you abuse and neglect them. Kody Brown will never learn. After the initial post, some Sister Wives viewers interpreted Kody Brown as blaming other churches as the cult culprits. But someone else thinks Kody Brown will never learn. They said, "Honestly, I only read this on him as speaking of his kids as the current ones only, and the cult is another church, not his old one." I don't think he realizes anything. That's how I took it too. I don't think he sees his version of Mormonism as a cult. He hasn't deconstructed it enough as a whole. He grew up with the faith being ingrained as truth, which is much harder to untangle than someone who did not. I think he sees evangelicalism as a cult, and I don't disagree that it has some weird elements, but he is not able to see that his own faith is often considered to be a cult. It's easier to point fingers at other cults to see them as cults and weird versus one's own. Scientology is clearly a cult, but I'm not in one, even though there are some clear similarities. I think he realizes he screwed up, but he's not all the way there yet. After 19 seasons on TLC, it's abundantly clear that most Sister Wives cast members don't particularly care for Robin Brown. But if that's the case, why don't the other cast members call her out directly? See what other Sister Wives viewers are discussing online. Sister Wives fans want someone to stand up to Kody Robin. At one point over the past few seasons, it was heavily implied that either Garrison or Gabe Brown called Robin during the pandemic and asked for her to ease the rigid COVID-19 rules. Naturally, Robin reacted poorly, and Kody became enraged at his children. But why don't any of the ex-wives stand up to the couple? Why does no one tell Robin to her face how they feel? One Sister Wives viewer asked on Reddit. I understand being the bigger person and setting a good example for the kids. I really get that. But in all the therapy and sit-downs and everything, why has no one had the guts to get in Robin and Cody's face the way they get everyone else's? The OP went on to point out that Kody has no problem publicly calling out someone to their face, citing the moment Christine announced she was leaving the family. At the end of the day, it seems that Kody and Robin have no problem gaslighting and manipulating people in conversations. But the three ex-wives won't call them out on it. Well, viewers don't think it's likely anything will change. Other Redditors thought it was disappointing that no one else bothered to stand up to Robin. However, many thought it made sense. After all, Kody and Robin don't exactly have a history of taking accountability for their poor behavior. Comments included, Christine said that in therapy she directly said that Kody was spending most of his time with Robin, and they both denied it, LOL. There's really no point with those two. They don't take accountability and make themselves the victims. Everyone's best bet was to just leave and stop trying to reason with unreasonable people. I think some of the kids have said exactly that to her and Kody, and that's part of the reason for the current situation of the Brown family. I honestly think they are scared of him. I mean, we've seen how he reacts in the talking heads, and several of his children have said that he is worse off camera. You've seen how aggressive he gets towards Suki when she presses him the tiniest bit. What do you think of this Reddit discussion? Do you wish some of the other family members would stand up to Kody and Robin? Share your thoughts in the comments. Leon Brown no longer appears on Sister Wives, but many fans still remain curious about their adult life. Many viewers love the former TLC star's strength and courage as the first child from the Brown family to come out as a member of the LGBTQ+ community.